Okay, so this is going to be my first get ready with me video. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about, you know, me right now and the purpose of this channel, which you can kind of see in the description of my page. If you don't know what a spoonie is, Google the spoon theory. That'll teach you a lot about people who live with chronic pain and chronic illness, which I do. I have multiple neurological disorders which keep me disabled at home. So that leads to a big reason why I decided to do this, because when I first got sick, I kind of gave up makeup altogether. I've never been one that wore a ton of makeup, but I really did enjoy playing with makeup, and I've always done a lot of makeup for other people, weddings and proms and things like that. Kind of gave up on using it at all, and then realized that a big part of me just didn't feel like me, and it had nothing really to do with my, with looks. A lot of people would say, oh, it's vanity. No, it's not vanity. It's no different than, people who always have long hair or always have short hair. It just becomes part of who they are and what they identify with. People that love a certain color, all those things. Like a tan, don't like a tan. I don't feel like myself enough already, just being stuck in this body that likes to torture me. So giving up something that I really love was really hard. But it was also hard for me to get to a point of, of doing my makeup again because of the energy that it requires. So that is the number one reason why I'm doing this, is there'll be a lot of content on this page. There's going to be product reviews, there's going to be, beauty gadgets, skincare, hair care, hairstyles, all kinds of things. There's going to be casual everyday looks, and then there's going to be some fun glam stuff when I have the energy or the time to do that. Well, I always have the time. It's a matter of if I have the energy, really. So today is just going to be a kind of a get ready with me, sort of a look that I would do on a daily basis. Nothing extreme, nothing, too glamorous, but what I like to call like a soft glam. So a way to get like a full face look without having to spend a whole lot of time doing it. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is my brows, which personally is my least favorite thing to do. I'm working on just growing my brows back in thicker, but I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned on how to do brows that has been a huge time saver for me, if I can find the right brush that I need. Okay, so for me, because I find it a lot harder to do one brow and then go back over and try to match them up, So what I do, so today I'm gonna use NYX Tame and Frame Brow Pomade. So I just take a little angled brush like this, a little sharp point one, get a little product on there, and then what I do is I try to find, for me, I like to kind of maybe hold the brush. Let me get it lined up right. So I hold the brush kind of almost to the outer corner of my eye, like that, okay? And you can see I'm obviously trying to grow mine in at that point. So I do like a little mark, a little line, just like that, just a little tiny line to kind of give me like a stencil. And then I'm gonna turn this a little bit because I'm also using a mirror over here. So you guys are gonna get all kinds of fun close-ups and funny faces, which is fine because I do that anyway. So again, until you get used to it, you can just take your brush handle and use it like that to kind of find where your arch is. For me, it's a little bit outside of the colored part of my eye. And put in the little line, which I went too far, but don't worry about that if you mess it up, because you can fix this very easily. This part's not important. It's getting that little stencil thing going. Okay, and then I get a little more product. You know what I need is I need a little handheld mirror so that I can do this without leaning all the way into the camera. And also, let's see if this has a little mirror in it. Does it? Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. So then I come underneath, kind of find my eyebrows right now. I've got them grown in pretty well where they're, you know, they're pretty even as far as where they meet up in the middle. Well, they don't meet up. I don't have a unibrow, but you hopefully know what I mean. I like my brows to start just slightly inside the corner of my eye. So they're almost there. So what I do is I take my brush. My corgi just decided to join us. You'll see lots of cameo appearances and here lots of chatter from my dogs. So what I'm doing right now is just sort of going in an upward stroke. For those of you lucky enough to have nice fluffy natural brows, you wouldn't need to do all this. You would just use a powder filler, if that. Okay, so, but what I'm doing right now is creating a stencil. So I've done a couple little upward strokes to give like a look of hair. And now I'm just gonna kind of draw a line like that. I really do not need that to fall. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing here. Upward stroke to give the kind of a look of hair growth. You know, our eyebrows right there in the middle kind of tend to grow upwards. And then I'm gonna do the line across the bottom. Now, I am one of those unfortunate people that has one brow is higher than the other naturally, which, well, it's actually my eye. I have one eye that's a little droopier than the other. So, for example, this is my eye, that my lid is a little heavier, which gives the appearance that this brow is lower, which it's actually not. Don't my brows look amazing right now? And this is a good day for me to do this because I'm recovering from a pretty good breakout. So then what I do now is I come to the end of my brow right here and I just make like a little triangle. Like that. It doesn't look like a triangle on the video, I see that now, but it's just, you know, make a little point and a triangle. Again, they look ridiculous, but it all comes together. So do the same thing on the other side. You can do this just as easily if you have a brow pencil that's nice and sharp. Mine is not sharp right now, so, and I didn't have it sharpened before I started, so I'm gonna use the brush. And again, all of this is, you know, I need to get my hair out of my face so you guys get to see my 5 head. Okay. Sexy. All right. No. I know. You guys are looking at this going, how is she gonna turn that into anything nice, right? Okay. So I have my little points. I have my little stencil for my arch. Okay, so now what I do is I go from this point here and I connect it to the triangle. This brush is not working. That's lovely. All right. So I'm going to attempt to use my dull brow pencil because this brush is not the one I wanted. Just grabbed the closest, but I'm gonna toss that one now. So again, start with your little stencil and kind of just connect it to make that triangle. And you'll eventually start to see that a brow is starting to form. And then I take this and just extend it to meet up with that line in the middle. And then I go a little bit, just a little bit on the top. I don't like a hard, I'm one of those people, I don't like a hard line across the top. I like it to kind of soften up as it, you know, so I just kind of lightly go in. So you're gonna see I've got little smudges, I got little mistakes. It's okay, because I'm gonna blend it out. And just kind of touch up any areas that you think need. My brows are a mess right now. Okay, so same thing on the other side. I'm going to take this point, and because I made my line too long, I got to go up a little higher. Oh, this is not sharp enough. I can make it work when it's not sharp enough, but for sake of tutorial, it is nice, you know, if you have a nice sharp brow pencil, is very helpful. Okay, I'm gonna take and connect, but again, I made that line too long, which I'm gonna fix here in just a minute. And this is my droopy brow. So I'm gonna build it up a little bit on the top, softly, because like I said, I do not like a hard line on my brows, not on the top. You guys are looking at this going, oh my God, which I actually love that I started with this because it does actually look hilarious, but it also shows people that, you know, you may start out and go, oh my God, I screwed it up. And in the end, you really did not screw it up. You're just at the beginning, and the brow's the hardest part. So, like I said, and if you're lucky enough to not care about brows or to not need to fill them in, that's great. And that will save you a lot of time. So, okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my little spoolie. This is a spoolie, for those who don't know. And I'm just going to kind of smooth out that line a little bit. See, it's almost looking like an eyebrow, see? Probably should have plucked my eyebrows before I even started this, but... And another thing is, a lot of people don't use their spoolie until after they've done all their fill-in with their powders and stuff, but this is just how I do it. So, again, I can't see in this... Looking in my camera does not work very well as a mirror, so I'm going to do my best here. Again, just ignore that little line that I made too long, because I will fix it in just a second. So you can just kind of fix it, smooth it, whatever you're going to do. Again, I'm going to add some powder. I promise you this is the hardest part of this entire daily makeup look. And I'm not quite used to using my camera as a mirror. So I'm gonna take this, and I know this is nasty, right? But I'm gonna lick it, and I'm gonna just smooth out that line that I extended down. And that's how easy that, you don't even have to actually get it wet. It will work just fine dry, but it is quicker. It's a little bit damp. I almost used the word moist, but I know people hate that word, me included. So, okay, now we have the outline of my brows, okay? I don't like a dark, hard line brow. So after I put in my little outline with a little darker, I go in with, I actually really love this Ulta Expert Brow, or Brow Expert palette. It's just a little teeny tiny thing like this. It's got a little wax on there, which I actually never use. I just use the little two-tone there. I dip most of it in the lighter color and a little bit in the darker color. And then I just kind of go in and fill in so that you don't see those lines anymore. And I fill it in so that my skin does not show through how sparse my brow hairs are. They're a lot thicker than they were a few months ago, so they are growing back. It just takes a really long time. I'm sure it would go a lot faster if I had a serum, a growth serum. So any of you watching this, if you have a good suggestion for a growth serum for lashes or brows, or both preferably. I know there's some out there that you can use on your lashes and your brows. Okay, brow number one. So all I've done now is just fill it in so that it doesn't look like a stenciled eyebrow. And I do have a little extra trouble getting mine straight because of my droopy eye, but that's okay. You guys are probably looking at this video going, it's already taking too long, but most people do not have this much trouble with something as simple as an eyebrow. So let me just look. It's hard to say. You know, I don't like using my camera as a mirror. That's just, it's odd. It looks crooked, but it's not. Okay. And then I just kind of smooth out the top. This needs to come out a little bit longer. All right, so that's gonna have to do for my brows for today. Okie dokie. And then you can use the wax if you want to. I don't like to honestly use the wax. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel quite right on my face. So I will use, however, a little, it basically just looks like clear mascara. And to be honest, you can go buy some fancy, you know, clear brow gel thing, but clear mascara would work just as well. And I just kind of do this in an upward motion to kind of get the brows to look more natural. This helps smooth out everything as well. This works, to me, this works just as well as a brow wax. I honestly think it works better. Wax just feels too much like a glue to me. So upward motion here in the beginning. So kind of brows grow, and then just extending it out. If by chance you screw up and you take, you know, you put it on too heavy, the liquid might wipe the brow off a little bit. Just okay, just go right in there with your powder and fill it in again. So that's gonna be my brows today. They're not perfect today, but that's okay. Another thing that I'm gonna do that some people are gonna freak out about, because a lot of people do their concealer after their foundation. I do not. I do my concealer actually, if I can find my concealer brush. I do my concealer before my foundation. And if it needs, you know, if it needs touched up, then hold on one moment here. There it is. I use a bigger brush than a lot of people do. Sorry, boo-boo, it's okay. Use one about like that. I'm not gonna do my concealer just yet because I'm just gonna work on my eyes here really quick. All right, so just get your brush, whatever one you use for a light shadow. I love e.l.f. Cosmetics brushes. They are amazing. So I'm gonna go in right now. Today I'm using my the Balm Cosmetics Nude Dudes palette. So I always start with a light color like that. Any light color that's sort of a flesh tone or a light tone. So I just kind of go in and I go over my entire eyelid to just kind of start as a base. And I don't really, you know, put any effort or technique into this. This is just, it's similar to if you were just rubbing lotion on your eyelids, because you're gonna choose a tone that's close to your natural skin color, and the point is to just sort of cover up those veins a little bit. So these angles are fabulous. You guys are getting me at my best, let me tell you. I've got a breakout going on, my eyebrows aren't tweezed, I'm clearly underprepared. So, all right, but we're gonna keep going because we're already in. We're in too deep to stop now, y'all. We're going for it. And like I said, this is like a look that I would do, you know, like a daily look. A lot of times people ask me if I use primers, like a face primer or an eyelid primer. I do use a primer if I'm going with a heavier, more of a glam look. So I think think I'm gonna put this mirror right here. All right, so, oh, I do not like using headbands, that hurts. I need to get a powder one, or I mean a powder fabric one, don't I? Okay, so then later I'll go in with a much lighter color and kind of line that brow. And so then I pick up a different brush. I'm still using the e.l.f. Cosmetics brush, which I just love their eyeshadow brushes. They're amazing, love. So I'm gonna choose, because I'm going with kind of a natural look today, probably gonna go with something in the middle, so like around this shade right there. It's kind of a brown with a little bit of a rose tint, I would say. On this particular palette, it's called Flirty. So I'm just gonna kind of go, you know, the eyelid has kind of a natural place there that's dark. This is your crease, if I'm being technical. I'm just gonna fill that in. Again, this is not gonna be dark. Not gonna be a dark look today. And when it's not dark and glam, you do not have to be so precise, because when you're not using dark and super crazy colors, it's super easy to blend out anything that you do. So I'm just gonna start, like I said, doing the crease. This is taking me much longer than it would if I wasn't actually walking you through it. If I was just doing it without talking, I would be close to finished. Plus, trying to figure out which mirror to use here with all these weird angles, because I wish my camera little thing was up above me, but I have it on landscape instead of portrait, which, note to self, don't do that again, right? Right. Okay, a little bit more on this with the corner right here. Okay, I've got a little more on that eye. Again, I do not have to be super precise and exact. You can just kind of see I've just made a very light shadow. I don't know if you guys can see or not. Very light. Oh, my skin is in terrible shape right now, which is okay because I'm going to cover it all up. Now then, what I'm going to do is use my finger for this one, just to give it a little bit of extra, you know, a little extra pop. I'm going to use this little glittery shimmery color right there. On this one is called Faithful. So I'm going to get it on my finger. I love this palette. They're very, very creamy. And I'm literally just going to pat it on the center of my, like right where my eye would be, or my, well, not where it would be, obviously it's there, but in the middle, so that when my eyes are open, it's right above the pupil. That's it. I'm going to do the other eye. And just, I use my finger because I find that if you really want to put in that little pop, the brushes often will hold too much of the product and you'll go through more product trying to get that little pop that you want than if you just use your finger and just kind of pat it on there. And again, not super precise. Nothing needs to be precise because we're gonna blend it out. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see. Let's let the light change. Just sort of worked on this little center area of my eye. Okay. Now, one of my favorite tricks is that I get asked about a lot. People are always asking me about my eyeliner. If I'm going for a glammed up look, I will use a liner. Or like if I need to have photos taken, things like that, a liner always makes, you know, shows up better in a picture. But in my everyday life, I don't have time or patience or energy to sit there and be so precise with the liner. So what I do is I get a teeny tiny little brush like this. This particular one is by 7th Avenue, 7th Avenue products. You can either find them on my Instagram page, which is shimmer and shine underscore spoonie. I follow them. They have a lovely brush set. And I'm going to use a dark color. You can either use a black. In my case, I'm going to use a brown, a dark brown today. It's called Friendly. And this is what I will use as my eyeliner. And I will literally just go like I was doing an eyeliner, but you do not have to be nearly as precise and careful because you're looking for a blended, smudged look. I mean, you look at that and it looks like I'm wearing eyeliner, which you all saw for yourself. I am not. And sometimes I will take it to the corner and just sort of give it a little bit of a wing, just a little. Not much. Same thing with the other eye. Got to use the other mirror. And like I said, you really can't mess this up because if you make the line too thick, it's okay. You can just smudge it out a little higher. If it's too thin, put more on, you know? This is my favorite little shortcut that I use regularly. So for example, if I'm having a really bad sick day, but I feel like looking somewhat human, I will do this, which you guys will see in a video because I have plenty of sick days. I will literally not have anything on my face except for a little bit of a eyeshadow eyeshadow line, not eyeliner, and some mascara. And that's it. Okay, so I don't know how that's showing up for you guys. I will see when I watch this video back, and of course I'll make improvements. Now later I will go in and I will do the under. So what I'm going to do now is what horrifies so many makeup artists, if I can find it. Where are you? Oh, there. I'm going to do my little concealer. I don't wear a ton of concealer because, you know what, I don't have a perfect face. And it's okay. I don't need a perfect face, right? I have flaws. So I just kind of go with, a lot of people do color correcting, and I do a little bit of color correcting on my nose. It gets red right here, so I use a green, but I use this e.l.f. This is the Complete Coverage Concealer in light. And I just mix those two shades in the middle. So one's a little light and one's a little bit red. And I just kind of find little spots that need to be covered up. These are scars from a breakout that I just went through, which will be gone. Those little scars will be gone in another few days, maybe a week. This is just freckles because I have red hair, but it's a little dark, so I like to keep these freckles with the cover, showing, but, and then I don't mix, I just use the light colored one to go right here. I don't do the big giant triangle. I just kind of try to tuck up a little bit into the corner to get those circles. And then I do a little here, sort of following the shape of my nose, which probably looks huge on the video. Okay, some people use Beauty Blender, some people use their finger. Everybody has their own way of doing this. I like to use the little brush and just kind of tap it in. And then if it sticks a little too much to like a, you know, a dry patch or whatever, blend it. Okay. If it's one little teeny tiny spot, I'll use my finger and just sort of soften it around the edge. Like right there on the lip line, you know, I just use my finger to blend that out. And I always use my finger around the nose a little bit. Hopefully I haven't lost your attention yet. And then I use my finger and I look up and I just sort of blend it up into the lash line if I can. Just doesn't have to be precise again. It doesn't have to be forced all the way up there. I just sort of blend it out. And because I'm going to put my foundation, this is another reason I do my concealer first, is my foundation is on a very sick day. Like again, I said, you will definitely see a video for that. So even when you're feeling super sick, if you have to leave the house or you just want to feel human, you can get ready in like 5 minutes. I usually on those days will just use a powder foundation. I like Sheer Cover. You can see them at sheercover.com. I will try to post a link in my description. I've been using them for years. They're extremely underrated, is my opinion. Okay, so because I have a little bit of blemishes going on right now, I'm gonna use, I like this Lasting Finish 25 hour, right, breathable foundation by Rimmel. Hopefully that's gonna focus for y'all. No, okay. This comes with a little, I'm not crazy about this because to me this feels unsanitary. I would prefer a pump, but it is what it is, right? So I just kind of go around my little red areas and my dark discolored areas. I kind of leave my cheeks alone and I only do a little bit across the top of my forehead. It looks like I put a ton on, but you can see like it's not caked on there. This is where I use my beauty blender and just blend it out, which is exactly what a beauty blender is for, right? And so you can see I'm not like trying to rub it all over my face. I'm just getting that discolored area right there. This is not a heavy enough look. You could go heavier on concealer. If I really wanted to, I could go in and completely make all of those blemishes disappear, but honestly, I don't care that much because like I said, I am not a perfect individual. I do not have flawless perfect skin, and my goal is to not appear to be perfect, right? I just want to feel decent or feel pretty. Some days I feel amazing and gorgeous. Other days I just feel okay, but I'm just sort of blending it out. I'm not going, you can tell I'm not covering my whole face. I'm just sort of mostly like I just completely got rid of that darker like sun area that, you know, gets darker from the sun. And not that I get much sun, but I'm a redhead, so when I do get sun, those freckles come out, which I don't mind. Like I'm not going to try to cover up all my freckles. I actually, to be honest, I won't wear a foundation if it covers all my freckles because I happen to think that freckles are angel kisses. Freckles are amazing. I'm jealous of women and men that have even more of them. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought. So now I'm just going to put a little color on my cheeks. I am today going to use Hard Candy. Very cute. This is the color Girl Next Door. Girl Next Door. I do not like that. I don't know what is with this little brush. I find that completely useless. I prefer a big brush for my blush. So I get this and I just literally put it there. Most of it's going to go right there on the biggest part of my cheek, my little chubby part. It looks like I'm putting it on super heavy because I am, but that will be gone soon. I put a little dab right there, a little dab there. Okay, that's it. Nothing precise. Again, nothing about this look is precise. Then I'm gonna take a kabuki brush. This is my favorite one at the moment. I'm just gonna use a little bit of my Sheer Cover powder foundation that I was telling you about. You guys definitely got to check them out. If you're into, like, you know, Bare Minerals is a big makeup company for powder foundation, and honestly, I've used both, and I find Bare Minerals to be far too obvious. Sheer Cover is not. So I just kind of go like this and blend it out and put a little powder on my nose and under my eyes. Again, keep in mind, this is not a glam look. This is a everyday simple look. This video's already gone 35 minutes, and it would not take me 35 minutes to achieve this look. But I'm talking and trying to help you guys through it, because a lot of women have messaged me on Instagram asking me how to do makeup in a sense, in a way that, you know, it's like you're wearing makeup, you get to play with makeup, but you don't look like you just are going to a crazy event, or, you know, it's like nice and simple and natural looking, but still accentuates your features. So that's all I do. Powder just all over. All right. Oh, one thing I did not get out was my mascara. Should be fun putting that on for y'all. Okay, I'm not gonna do like contouring or anything like that today. I will do a little bit of highlighter, just to give my face a little bit more punch. So I like this Urban Decay double-sided brush. I like to use the flat end, which I know some people are like, what? Why would you use a flat end? Well, because I like it, that's why. I feel like it's more precise. So I go up here and I just kind of put it on, and you won't be able to see it unless I move my face around in the light. The lighting in here, by the way, I need to work on because it's aging me like 10 years. Okay, so I just kind of run it across the top of my blush line and right across the top of my cheekbone. I would do this a little differently for a full face look. This is just with intent to bring out some features and have an everyday look that's not fast. I do a little bit on the end of my nose. I am not, no offense to anybody out there that's into makeup and stuff, but I can't stand that bright white nose. I hate it. Looks great for photos, but it does not look great to me when I see somebody walking around like that. So I literally just swoop down my nose and dab just a tiny bit so that the light catches. And then I do a little bit right there and a little bit right there. That's it. That's it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back up to my eyes where I said I was gonna go in and kind of clean up the eyebrow a little bit. You can do this two ways. You can use a really light colored, really light colored eyeshadow, which is what I'll do today. Or if you have like an eyebrow pen that's like a brightening pen, Thrive Cosmetics puts one out that is absolutely stunning. This is what it looks like. It's the Brilliant Eye Brightener in Stella. And you can use that. I'm just gonna go back with this color here. And just gonna go right on that line and kind of pull it down a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw what just happened there, but literally just brightened up my brow bone, my brow bone and my eyelid. Just kind of separated that a little bit. And that is, oh, this mirror thing is very odd. It is such a subtle thing, but extremely effective in creating, I guess, depth and dimension in your makeup. That's all I do. Now, I'm gonna take that little tiny brush again, the one I used for my fake eyeliner look, and I'm gonna go under my lash line. Just brush it on there. Not perfectly, just take it to the corner. It's not a perfect line, and that's, I don't want it to be. bring it right up to your lash line there, and then, you know, you can bring it down a little further if you want to, if you want it to be darker, because, you know, you can use this for a glammed up look too, if you don't like using eyeliner. For me and my skin, eyeliner smudges a lot worse for me than eyeshadow, so I've always, even when I go really glam, I almost always will never have eyeliner under my eye. It's always gonna be shadow. And even on the top, like that's just, I just prefer that softer look. Okay, so my eyes are actually done, except for one tiny little detail, that light color that I just put on my brow bone right there. I'm going to tap a little bit into the corner of my eye and just kind of fill in that corner right there, which is just brightens up your eye and makes you look more awake. It's excellent for days that maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Maybe you're hungover, I don't know. I don't drink anymore. I cannot drink because of my neurological stuff, because, well, partly it'd be a huge waste of money because I feel like I'm drunk all the time anyway. It's one of my symptoms. So alcohol would be a waste on me. So that's all I do, is just kind of pop a little bit of that bright color right into the center. I am done with eyeshadows. I'm done with blush powders. I'm done with all that. Now I'm going to do my mascara. Now, for me, I use two mascaras. I have this CoverGirl Lash Blast has been my favorite for years now and will always be my favorite. I find that it thickens better than it lengthens. It does lengthen, it does, but it's definitely great for creating volume. So let's see if I can do this without making a ton of ridiculous faces. I'm pretty good. Like, I don't need to have my mouth hanging open like a lot of people do when they do mascara. So I take it at the root and I kind of push it towards the center first, the center of my eye, or I mean like towards my nose, to kind of, you know, pull them and stretch them out. And then I kind of start going straight up and down from wherever they are at the root. I have never worn a pair of false lashes. I am going to try them for my more glammed up look, which will probably be the next video that I put up. So again, towards the nose, and then straight up from the root. Sometimes I kind of come from the top there and just get a little on the ends. So you can see, like, this mascara is really, really good. It really does a great job. It's amazing. And this is, even though I'm a redhead and I probably should wear brown or black brown, this is very black. My eyelashes actually don't grow red or brown. They're pretty dark, so I feel like they look weird if I go with a lighter color. And then just a little bit. Most of my focus for mascara under the eye is going to be right towards the center of my eye. Again, the pupil, kind of bringing out, I draw a lot of focus to the pupil, and I cannot for the life of me right now remember what it's called. The iris, thank you. Whoever dropped that thought in my head. So we focus most of that attention. So like when I did the little pop of light color, it's on the top, right above the pupil. Okay, so then my second is Urban Decay Troublemaker mascara, again in black. This is a completely different brush. This is more about lengthening and separating. Took me a while to get used to this, but I really like the formula. I'm not sure if I love the brush yet. I'm still, because the Lash Blast has a really thick brush, and this is more like a spiky type. So, but it really lengthens them a lot, and I don't go on real heavy. I'm barely touching, kind of more like fluffing them with this. I'm gonna use this mirror for that. For the other eye. I don't use this on the bottom lashes. I keep most of the focus on the top. Again, I know it seems like this is taking forever, but that's only because I'm talking. And finally, for the end, the big finish, of course, fluff the hair from the hairband. I'm using, this is actually LA Colors High Shine Shea Butter Lip Gloss in the color, I believe, oh, it's Playful. Color Playful. All right. I kind of line my lip like this and then focus it mostly in the middle. Do the same on the top. If you like to, you know, bring attention to your lips, then you can line them if you want with the liner. I only do that when I'm glammed up. So that is my more of like a daily, you know, everyday look that I would do when I don't have the time, the energy, whatever it is, to go full glam. Those are my tricks. I have a lot more to show you, but I'll show you those in the next video. So again, I'll give you a close-up, and I know I still have little blemishes showing through, but again, I'm not perfect and I'll never try to be. So just let you see, hopefully the lighting is good. Okay, tutorial number 1. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. If you have requests, ideas for inspiration, there's a look that you want me to copy, I'm going to put my email as well down into the link. And I will put down some products that I used, and also I want to put the website page for Sheer Cover because I think they're extremely underrated and their powder coverage is amazing and very affordable, way more affordable than Bare Minerals, and I actually think better. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching.